Oh, well.
Hello everyone.
You want to scooch over so I can sit?
Oh yeah, I guess you can
Yeah,
join
thank
this,
you.
huh?
I'd like to be in the stream. I'd like to participate. Unless you don't think you need me, you could just do it if you'd like.
Well, I mean, I do the voices very well, but
Yeah,
there are a couple that you do a little bit better than me.
a few. Maybe just a few. Hello, Dan. Ah, Jessica, hello.
Hey
Welcome.
Dan, hey Jessica.
Channeling my Ravenclaw today.
Oh, we're just
With the
going through the
blue.
houses.
But always true Slytherin at heart.
But always a green heart.
That's right.
Hey Ren, how's it going?
Howdy, Ren. Welcome.
Make sure that was muted.
Oh, danke.
Don't lie, you're a true Ravenclaw. You're just a Slytherin poser.
It's exactly what a Gryffindor would say.
Is it?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
What? Nothing? Nothing to say? Oh, I feel like I'm really squishy.
Yeah, but I can't get up here. There you go. Now you can scooch back a little bit.
Okay.
Get cozy. Get comfy. You just
So
don't
has-
want to live with a Slytherin. That's all it is. You're just trying to not hang out with a Slytherin.
What do you mean? I don't live with a Slytherin. I live with a Ravenclaw.
You're so full of baloney.
So I wanted to ask, did everyone have a chance to go put give their input on the Dumbledore debate poll?
Yes, I know. I saw some responses. I saw some.
Mm-hmm.
People are...
Dumbledore is actually going the way I expected. Snape was very different from what I expected, how people felt about him.
I still have more things that I want to say about Snape, but I'm going to hold off and wait until we talk about Dumbledore and then bring Snape up, because you can't talk about Dumbledore without talking about Snape.
Fair enough. Hello, Aaron. Welcome.
We're good. How are you? Dan, the poll is up. Go check it out. Put in your 2 cents if you wish.
Yep, right on the community tab.
And we have also had a request for Voldemort, but we have something special planned for Voldemort. So, Dumbledore first.
So at this point, I think we're just going to kind of do our Saturday live streams where we just kind of work through each of the characters and give our input on it. We'll be doing some more polls and getting everyone's input.
Yeah, and we'll do a character by character thing, which never mind. I had an idea, but I'm going to save it. And I'll tell you after we're done, because it's going to be a secret.
Okay.
Dumbledore and Snape are definitely tied, and the whole reason Dumbledore is badish is spoilers. I mean,
There is the poll, in case anyone wants a link to it.
I was going to say something about Dumbledore, but then now is not the time to talk about Dumbledore. Well, we can talk about Dumbledore, but not in that way. We have to... Now is not the time. I'll go on a tangent, and then the stream will get away from us, and then we'll lose it forever.
Right. So far, 130 votes.
Oh, very, very nice.
It is 50... I can't speak today. Thank goodness you're reading. 57% say good. 2% say bad. 41% gray.
That's kind of what I figured. I figured we get a decent amount for gray, and the majority would say good.
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited to see what those 2% of people have to say about Dumbledore.
Yeah, I want to know why they think he's bad. I'm very curious about that. Looking forward to the Luna debate.
Ooh, Luna's gonna be fun.
Oh, Luna's gonna be so fun.
Is there really a debate there? I mean, who doesn't like Luna?
If you don't like Luna, I feel like you have no soul, and there's something intrinsically wrong with you as a human being if you don't like Luna.
It's just gonna be 2-hour live stream of us gushing over how much we love Luna.
Luna has the best commentary, yes. When she commentates Quidditch, it's gold. It's pure gold. It's absolutely great. You were Team Luna Harry?
Luna Harry, I could see it. They would have been good together.
No, they wouldn't have. No, they wouldn't have.
They would have been good, and
Harry would not have been able to handle that. He would have not. No.
No, but it would have been good because you could have had like a Married with Children type spin-off with Harry and Luna, and it would have been comedic gold.
I think that's the point. What are the best qualities of Luna? Ooh. That could be the theme.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to debate whether or not Luna is terrible or not, we could what are Luna's best qualities? Let's discuss it.
I still might make a poll with just something.
You know what's...
They're like, is Luna bad? I just want to see if anyone is just like, screw Luna. She stole Harry from Ginny. She is a witch.
See, to me, with the whole Luna Harry, I know Luna Harry shipping was really popular, but for me, when I read the books as they were coming out, when I read the books from book 2, when you find out that Ginny's got a crush on Harry, I was just like, yo, they're gonna get together. So I never did the whole like Luna Harry thing because I was just like, no, it's gonna be Ginny. It's gonna be Ginny. I know it's gonna be Ginny. And then as the books develop and Ginny really starts to become a character in 4 and 5, I'm like, yep, Ginny. It's gonna be Ginny. And someone actually just suggested doing a Ron and Hermione like together. Because the Ron and Hermione being together thing is kind of divisive. Some people love it and some people really hate it.
I was gonna say, like, some people really don't like the fact that they're together.
They don't, and I don't.
There's people who just don't like the fact, and then there's also a small portion of those people who just don't understand why they're together, and they don't see like kind of the build up and stuff. I've seen some people make some comments about them being together, and it's just like, did you read the book?
Well, I think that's part of the issue. Is I think some people that don't like Ron and Hermione together only saw the movies and didn't read the books, and therefore don't understand why they get together. Because in the movies, it kind of comes out of nowhere because they destroyed Ron's character, but in the books, it makes absolute sense.
Yes. And John, I am 100% with you. Neville and Luna should have been together. They're perfect for each other.
They're not perfect for each other. I don't think so.
Should have been.
I don't think Neville could have been able to handle Luna either. It's a cute idea, but I don't think they would have ended up together. I think Rowling knew her characters well enough to not put them together.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think Neville could handle Luna. Luna is very special.
Yes.
And I don't think Harry or Neville deserve Luna.
Oh, dang. All right.
Oh, no. Lola, no.
Neville would get annoyed, probably.
That's what I think. I think that would be Harry's issue as well. I don't think Harry or Neville. Plus,
it would be a case of
when you read the books, they're from Harry's perspective, and like never do you ever get that vibe from Harry that he feels that way about Luna. And I really don't think Luna gives off vibes that she feels that way about Harry. I just don't think it's there.
No. What was I gonna say? Oh, wait. If Neville and Luna did get together, though, you would probably see Harry solving a case where Neville didn't know. He didn't know it was a. What's that plant that strangles you?
Devil's snare.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a devil's snare that I gave her by your bed. Is that? No, I thought there was another one that like like a tentacular...
Venomous tentacula?
Yeah.
No, that's what Slughorn is clipping.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Luna is just a great friend. See, like, that's the thing. Luna is a great friend. Remember in book 6 when they go to Xenophilius's house and they go to her room and she has that painting on the ceiling of all of them and she's just written friends everywhere. Like, it's friends. Who does deserve Luna? Someone really incredible. And I think...
Didn't you say there's, like, a canon idea of who she ends up with?
Yeah, there is. Let me look it up. Luna... I don't know why, but Lola kind of reminds me of Luna.
Why is that?
I don't know, because Lola is just so sweet.
Newt's grandson?
Yes, that's right. Newt Scamander's grandson.
Oh, really?
Because Luna, after school goes off to, like, discover new creatures and stuff. That's, like, what she goes out to do, is to, like, become a naturalist and stuff. And she gets together with Newt Scamander's grandson.
Okay.
That's
so I guess to answer your question, that's who deserves Luna.
That's who deserves Luna. Newt Scamander's grandson. Which, I mean, that's pretty solid, I think.
Now, do you think Newt Scamander's grandson
She travels the world in search of strange creatures. She discovers and classifies many more species that had never been encountered before, but was never able to find the crumplehorn snorkack.
No. Was it all worth it then?
And then she married Rolf Scamander. Considerably later in life than Harry, Ron, Hermione, and Ginny.
Oh my god. You know what they need? Rowling. You need to do the Wild Thornberries, but with Luna and...
Rolf.
And their kids.
Thank you for saying that Lola is adorable. Lola is adorable. She lolly.
That would be fantastic.
It would be great.
Smashing, even.
Smashing.
I mean, we haven't watched the Fantastic Beasts movie. We're going to.
We will watch them. Maybe we will do a react.
I'm going to assume that Newt Scamander does not give off the Nigel Thornberry vibes.
No, he does not.
I've
seen clips. He is not Nigel Thornberry.
Switch because Luna definitely does.
Yeah, Luna gives off more Nigel vibes than Newt, for sure.
Thornberry's Luna Scamander. Yes.
The Wild Scamanders.
The Wild Scamanders.
The Raxperts in my ears give me the ability to talk to animals.
Well, it'd have to be their children.
What if they don't have children?
It wouldn't be the Wild Thornberries if they didn't.
Well, maybe they don't. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying they do. I'm just saying there's also not a Wild Scamander show, so
no.
This is totally us daydreaming of what we want to see in a spin-off series.
This is true.
So there's that.
Dr. Dolittle Scamander? Potentially.
Dr. Dooluna Scamander. But the reason we're here, so all the young dudes.
Yes, all the young dudes. To totally take it into a different direction, Lupin had sex last time.
Yes, with a girl.
With a girl.
To make Sirius jealous.
And it was okay.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Warm oil.
Ugh.
That is all.
Ugh.
I don't know whether the author was trying to just make it sound weird because
it's
from Lupin's perspective.
Warm oil is all I remember. Yeah. We should not go down that road again. We don't have to go there. We don't have to go there. We don't know what the author's intentions were. We don't need to know.
Just someone should tell them. That's not how you be sexy.
But maybe they weren't trying to be sexy because it's from Lupin's perspective, and maybe that's how Lupin felt about it. We don't know.
Feels like bad French fries.
We said this last time.
Okay,
fish and chips. We talked about it. Fish and chips.
That's right. It was fish and chips. Okay. Moving on. That was about it because we only got like one chapter.
We only got through one. Yeah, we only got through one.
We got into some big discussion.
Yeah, we ended up talking.
And then we had the great Snape debate the last time, which went over really good. And hopefully,
and we all concluded that Snape is the best character ever.
No, we concluded that we couldn't change our minds.
That Snape is awesome.
We feel the same way that we've always felt about Snape.
That Snape is awesome.
I guess, really, that kind of makes him the grayest of characters. Because we couldn't find anything to...
Snape is the best. Better than all the rest.
That point right there. I couldn't stop it, people.
Better than anyone.
Except Dumbledore, which we're going to talk about next time.
No, he's better than Dumbledore.
And hopefully, Noel will be able to stop in and join us for that one, too.
Yes.
So he can be part of it.
Yes.
Can't remember. Did we ask him what side he's on?
I think he thinks Dumbledore is good.
I thought he said gray.
Maybe he did. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Either way, I guess it'll be a surprise. We'll have to wait and see. So what's the next chapter of all the young dudes? I will take the fluff ball.
But she's so lovely. The lovely Doda. She's so sweet to the baby Doda.
She is. You say that she tilts her head back.
I know.
Me? Am I really lovely?
She is. She perfect, the Doda. All right, Doda.
She knows.
Oh no, she's clinging on to me. She don't want to go.
Dumbledore makes mistakes. He does, indeed.
Doda, I sorry, Doda.
And the best written character, I guess, is debatable because there's one thing I will say that for the most part, Dumbledore and Snape mirror each other very, very well. With a few differences.
I mean, the best written characters in the series are Snape, number 1, Dumbledore, and honestly, I think people discount it all the time, but the other third best written character is Harry. Harry is a great character.
Yeah.
Yes, she is like a husky. She is just constantly fur. Alright, so shall we begin?
Yes. Let us begin.
Let us begin, because I think we're on chapter 109, I think. Oop. Chapter 109. 6th year. Henoikos. Friday, 4th of March, 1977. I'm going to go mad, Marlene said one evening as the library was closing. She pressed her fingers into her eyes, exhausted. Her hair was fluffed up on her head like a dandelion from running her hands through it so often. I thought OWLs were bad. That rhymes, Mary sang cheerfully, neatly rolling up her parchment. Helpful, thanks, MacDonald. Marlene rolled her eyes. You decided to keep potions. Mary bopped her friend lightly on the head with her rolled-up essay. It's required for healer training college, Marlene sighed. I wish I didn't have to do it. I don't know why you all hate it so much, Lily yawned, hoisting her satchel onto her shoulder. Potions is fun. It's logical. Oh, shut up, Evans, Mary and Marlene said in unison. Remus laughed and put a fond arm round the redhead. Poor Lily, he said in mock sympathy. So misunderstood in your quest for knowledge. She laughed too, and they all left the library together. They'd been there every night of the week, except when Lily had prefect duties or Marlene had Quidditch. Then it was just Remus and Mary, which was surprisingly okay. Mary had made a few teasing jibes about their brief liaison, but hadn't mentioned wanting to do it again, and appeared to be seeing Roman Rotherhide once more. Remus was relieved. One secret affair was enough. It was early to be revising, but the four of them had decided to reconvene their study group this year in order to get through the first stage of their NEWTs. Final exams were still over a year away, but in Remus and Lily's opinion, there was no such thing as being too prepared, particularly with the foundation year exams due in June. I'm knackered, Mary said as they approached the portrait of the fat lady. Her wig had been removed by Professor Flitwick only a few days beforehand. She'd apparently grown quite fond of it. Day off tomorrow? If you want, Remus said, catching her yawn. I said I'd do a big study group on Sunday, so I'd be glad of the rest. I don't know how you do it, Lupin. Mary shook her head in disbelief. That's perfect, though. Leave Saturday evening free. Got another date with Roman, have you? Marlene asked, sounding a bit annoyed. Yes, Marlene, Mary rolled her eyes, despite your very apparent disapproval. I just think you ought to slow down is all, Marlene snapped, running her fingers through her hair again. Well, as we've discussed before, it's none of your business who I go out with, is it? Mary said, arching an eyebrow at her friend. Marlene had turned an uncharacteristic shade of pink and was looking at the floor. Remus looked at both girls in surprise. He'd never seen them talk like that to each other. Usually they were the best of friends. Come on, we're all tired, Lily said, pushing forward. Blatherskite. Pushing forward. Blatherskite, she addressed the fat lady, who moved aside so they could all enter. Evans! James's shout met them even before they were halfway through. Yeah, good evening, Potter, Lily sighed, shaking her head. Remus caught her tiny smile, though she tried to cover it behind her long hair. And Mooney, James continued, where have you been? Making furious love to us all, obviously, Mary said deadpan, pushing Sirius aside to sit nearest the fireplace. It's true, Lily grinned, sitting on the hearth rug. He's a stallion. It took all three of us to satisfy him, Marlene piped up, looking a bit happier. Oh my God, please shut up, Remus groaned, taking his seat in his usual armchair. We were in the library, as if you didn't know. Ah, of course, James winked at him. Say no more, Casanova. Ugh. Mary held her hands up to the fire. The castle is freezing. Scotland is freezing, Sirius replied monotonously. He was levitating a paper airplane lazily about the room, slouched down in his chair. It's only March, Lily said perkily. It'll start warming up soon enough. I can't wait for summer. Nah, then I'll be too hot, Mary sighed. Our flat is ridiculous, even if you open the windows. Suppose I can do magic this year, though. Am I allowed to if my family are muggles? Oh, I do, Lily said, biting her lip. Are we not supposed to? Why don't you come stay with me, Mary? Marlene said. More room at our house. It's cooler. Well, I wouldn't mind a holiday, Mary mused, still rubbing her hands. Haven't had one since Dad lost his job. We used to go to the seaside every year, Margate or Skegness. Oh, I went to Cornwall last year, Lily said. It was lovely. We camped right near the beach. Camping again, Sirius grumbled. Don't get Potter started. Evans, have I ever told you how much I love camping? James said, grinning madly from his position at the mantelpiece. He was fiddling with his golden snitch, tossing it from palm to palm. It's one of my greatest pleasures in life. I'm talking about muggle camping, Potter, Lily tutted, smoothing her skirt over her knees self-consciously. In muggle tents, no fancy extension charms. Can't be that different, James replied, undeterred. These two haven't been camping, he nodded to Remus and Sirius. We sort of did over Christmas, Remus said, throwing a daring glance at Sirius, who gave him a slow, conspiratorial smile. Hey! James said, suddenly tossing the snitch high in the air, then reaching to snatch it back. We should all go camping! What? Sirius said, sitting up. This summer, James nodded, excited. It's our last summer before we all have to be grown-ups, and we'll all be of age. We should do it. All of us? Marlene asked, eyeing Mary. All of us, James confirmed. What do you think, Evans? Well, Lily looked up at him. Separate tents for boys and girls, right? You're no fun, Mary smirked. Lily kicked her from the floor and continued. Okay, Potter, on one condition. Anything. Muggle tents. Oh.
Bummer.
Saturday, 5th of March, 1977. If you are 17 years of age, or will turn 17 on or before 31st of August 1977, you are eligible for a 12-week course of apparition lessons from a Ministry of Magic apparition instructor beginning on Monday, 4th of April 1977. Please sign below if you'd like to participate. Cost 12 galleons. Remus stared at the notice pinned to the Gryffindor notice board and sighed. I'll lend you the money, Sirius said at his shoulder. I'd rather you didn't. Remus, I'm ridiculously rich. I'm aware of that, he snapped irritably. He looked at the board again. Remus had wanted to learn how to apparate for almost in his entire time at Hogwarts. Okay, he nodded, but I'll pay you back. I really will. I know. Sirius nudged him with his hip playfully. You're going to be making more money than any of us one day, you big swat. Ah, Remus snorted. Not likely unless Dumbledore gets his act together. Dumbledore? What's he got to do with anything? Remus looked round furtively. The common room wasn't busy, but it wasn't empty either. I can't tell you here, he said. Upstairs? Sirius cocked his head with a mock-innocent expression that made Remus burst out laughing. Not for that! Get your mind out of the gutter, Black. They headed upstairs to the bedroom. It was nice and quiet there. Peter was serving a detention somewhere with Filch, and James was patrolling. So? Sirius went straight for Remus's bed, sitting cross-legged and alert. What's going on with Dumbledore? Remus sat down opposite him, not too close. Hi. Remember I had that dinner with Ferox after I met Livia? Yeah, of course. Sirius sobered up at once. They hadn't discussed it since they made up. All right, well, don't get angry with me, but I sort of made some demands on Dumbledore. Sirius stared at him blankly. Remus continued with a hard swallow. I told them that if they want me to help, if they want me to be like an emissary to the werewolves or whatever, then I wanted something in return. Protection for the others in Greyback's pack, first of all. Sirius's mouth opened then, apparently thinking better of it, shut it, closed it again and waited. Remus carried on, watching him carefully for any sign of anger or disapproval. And I have asked not to be forced to sign the register on my birthday. Well, that's reasonable at least, Sirius breathed. But Moony, the other thing? I know, Remus nodded. They're murderers, some of them, I know that. But I don't think they know any other way. I think if we want to show them that there are other choices, better ways to live, then that has to start with kindness. Kindness, Sirius repeated. Not forgiveness, Remus said quickly. I'm not saying they should go completely unpunished, but I mean, you have to admit the Ministry has handled lycanthropy pretty poorly so far. When we win this war, there's a chance to make things better. For all wizards. Even half-breeds. Sirius was looking at him, his brow slightly furrowed. His deep blue eyes focused intently, as if he was searching for something in Remus's face. Then he gave a slight nod. This is really important to you, isn't it? Yes, Remus said without missing a beat. You'll have to convince a lot of people. Remus nodded. I know. "We'll help you, though," Sirius said, not breaking eye contact. "Me and Peter and James. Evans, too, probably. That girl worships you." "I couldn't ask." "You don't need to." Sirius shook his head. He leaned forward and kissed Remus so gently on the lips, barely a whisper. "Anything for our Mooney." Later that day, Remus was on his way to Flitwick's classroom. The kindly charms professor had allowed him to use it for his tutoring sessions, provided everything was tidied up afterward. He had a map of the south coast in his bag and was hoping to get there early enough to have a chance to study it. If they were all going on holiday that summer, then someone was going to have to organise it. The first full moon of the summer would fall exactly on the 1st of July, and Remus was hoping to stay one extra night at Hogwarts for that. He'd already asked James if he could stay with the Potters for the following week, and James, of course, had eagerly agreed. Then they would have the camping trip, and then Remus didn't have a clue what his next move would be. Back to Mile End, maybe, if Grant was still there. He couldn't just stay at the Potters forever, not once he was 17. "Hi, Remus," Christopher waved, already waiting outside the classroom. Remus's heart sank slightly. Of course Christopher was early. He never missed a chance to catch Remus alone. "Morning, Chris," he smiled politely. "Shall we go in?" They charmed the desks into a horseshoe shape so that there would be plenty of room for practical demonstrations, then settled down, pulling out their books. "What are you doing after?" Christopher asked, over-keen. "Dinner," Remus said mildly, smoothing down his map and locating Cornwall. "Then detention, I'm afraid, till late." It was a full moon, though he'd be in detention even if it wasn't. McGonagall never went back on a punishment. "That's a shame," Christopher sighed. "You're always in detention these days." "Yep," Remus laughed. "I'm a no-good yob." Christopher laughed awkwardly. He meant well enough, but Remus had the impression that he was rarely comfortable with Marauder-style humour. It took getting used to. "Have you read this?" Christopher pushed a book across the desk, covering up the beach Remus had been inspecting. He sighed and looked at it. The Charioteer. "Nope." Remus shook his head, picking it up and reading the blurb. After an injury at Dunkirk, Laurie Odwell is sent to a veterans' hospital to convalesce. There he befriends Andrew, a conscientious objector serving as an orderly. But when Ralph, a mentor from his school days, reappears in his life, Laurie is forced to choose between the sweet ideals of innocence and the distinct pleasures of experience. Oh, Remus thought. It's that sort of book. "It's a Muggle book," Christopher explained excitedly. "It's really good. You can borrow it. I'd love to know what you think." "Yeah, I'll give it a go. Cheers." Remus nodded, quickly hiding it in the bottom of his bag before anyone else came in. At that moment there was a knock at the door. Both boys turned round to see Emmeline Vance poke her head round the door. She was an immensely beautiful girl, with a tumble of golden curls and large apple green eyes. Another Ravenclaw, she was a 7th year too, had previously gone out with Roman Rotherhide himself. She smiled, stepping in. "Hello, Remus," she said in her soft, girlish voice. He tried to be polite back, but he knew he sounded cold. "Hello, Emmeline. I didn't expect you." "Oh, no, I'm not here for your little study club thing." She smiled again, scratching up her nose in a way that might have seemed cute or endearing to anyone but Remus and Christopher. "I was hoping that Sirius would be here." "He isn't." "No, I see that." She laughed throatily, sweeping her hair over one shoulder. "But he said he'd meet me in the astronomy tower a half-hour ago." Remus just shrugged at her, face blank. She tutted. "Well, if you see him, will you tell him to meet me tonight, after curfew?" "He's busy tonight." "Doing what? He's not seeing that MacDonald girl again, is he?" "You never know with Sirius," Remus said cruelly, trying not to smirk. "Well, you tell him if he's not careful, he's going to lose me." "Oh, I definitely will." She closed the door and Remus snorted, shaking his head. "Do you actually know where he is?" Christopher asked with a small frown. "Nah," Remus replied, "but I could guess. He's probably with James somewhere." "Those two," Christopher sighed. They're funny sometimes, but they cause so much trouble. How on earth Potter managed to end up a prefect, I have no idea. And Black, he's just... He's just what? Remus said sharply. Christopher blinked, startled. I know he's your friend. Sorry, I just meant... He's an arrogant tosser sometimes. Yeah, Remus nodded, loosening up. He thought about Sirius's promise, made little more than an hour ago on Remus's bed. If other people couldn't see that Sirius, then it was their loss. Who were Emmeline and Christopher in the grand scheme of things? Not marauders, not important. You're not wrong, Remus shrugged. Right, where do you want to start?
Lupin is getting seriously defensive.
And a little possessive.
Just a little bit. Oh, and hello, Maddie. And I agree with Dan. I like camping as much as the next person, but just because I love the outdoors does not mean I hate a comfortable bed. By an RV, I would definitely use it.
This is also the 70s.
That's true.
What do you think RVs looked like in the 70s?
They were those the
little
tow behind.
Yeah. So, you know.
What's that silver bullet looking one?
Yeah.
Famous one. I'm sure that's what James has.
Could be. Could be like the one that's in that episode of the Rugrats, where they go inside and they think they're like on another planet. They pretend it's a spaceship. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
And there's all the newspapers everywhere. They're like jumping on the moon rocks and stuff.
I always just think of Top Gear or Grand Tour.
Yeah. All those episodes. I don't understand how Potter became a prefect either.
He became a prefect because Lupin suggested it. And that's about it.
An Airstream. Yeah.
Airstream, thank you. Yeah.
I wanted to say Slipstream, and I'm like, that's a transformer. That's not right. Slipstream is a transformer.
Yeah, because I don't even know how he got prefect even after that.
Well, Lupin was prefect, and
so then he goes to Dumbledore. Yeah, and he's
like, no, give it to James
or whatever.
Yeah,
but still, I mean, I'm sure there are other kids who do well and haven't, turned back the clock and disrupted everyone's day.
I think the other thing about James, though, too, is that by the time he becomes prefect, not only has he started to change his ways, but for as much trouble as they caused, it's mentioned multiple times over and over and over what good students they were, how brilliant they were, how good their scores were, so James might have caused a lot of trouble, but on paper he was brilliant.
Yeah.
So there's that piece of the puzzle.
Voldemort was brilliant too.
Well, yes, he was. So was Dumbledore. So was Snape. So was McGonagall.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
What is...
It doesn't... I guess...
After all, he who must not be named did great things. Terrible, yes. But great.
And Tom Riddle was a prefect, I think.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
In the flashback?
Yeah, in the flashback, he's a prefect.
Okay, so morals do not count. It's all about your grades.
I mean, I think Tom hid everything much better than James.
Well, yes.
He literally...
But Dumbledore always had those kind of questions.
There's another one. Draco is also a prefect, so there you go.
It's true.
And I think Pansy Parkinson is the other one.
Aren't prefects chosen by head of house?
I think so.
Okay, so that kind of makes sense then.
But of course, what other Slytherin in that year could have been?
Right, gonna give it to Crabbe.
I'm assuming there's a prefect from every year 5+, and the only options after Remus said no seemed to be Sirius and Peter. Yeah, that's true. So there's a set of prefects for every year. So once you're named prefect in 5th year, you stay prefect until 7th year, and then maybe you become head boy or girl.
Yeah.
And if you become head boy, then you become head boy. Or you just remain a prefect. So for every year, every 5th year, new prefects get picked.
Yeah.
I think head of house chooses, and maybe Dumbledore approves it. Maybe
I don't think so, though. I think Dumbledore has enough trust in his head of houses. He's just like,
yeah, I would agree.
You do what you feel is right.
I would agree. Plus, when Tom was made prefect, Dumbledore wasn't headmaster.
That's true.
So,
but this brings me to another point. Then we were blaming Dumbledore for the fact that he gave a werewolf a silver badge.
Maybe Dumbledore just doesn't even know.
In this case, it's actually McGonagall.
We've been blaming Dumbledore the whole time, when really it was McGonagall. I think Dumbledore picks. I feel like he said specifically he chose Ron to give Harry a break. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I think that's correct. I think Harry and Dumbledore do have that conversation.
Didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Dumbledore says, you've had so much going on. They have that conversation at some point in 5. He's like, you've had so much going on that I figured, like, you don't need any other pressure.
Mm. Maybe he does.
Maybe he does
maybe
pick.
The head of house, like...
Or maybe just in this instance... Maybe just in this instance, Dumbledore specifically chose because it's Harry. Like, maybe Dumbledore... In this case, Dumbledore specifically had a hand in it. And maybe McGonagall was like, I'm going to pick Harry and Hermione. And maybe Dumbledore said, no. No. Harry's got too much going on. Pick someone else.
And I'm going to need him for some stuff this year, so...
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, 5, Dumbledore stays away from Harry.
That's true. Or maybe it was after McGonagall gave Lupin the silver badge that Dumbledore was like, you know what? Maybe I'll handle this from now on.
Maybe he realized McGonagall like effed up and was like, from here on out, no.
First, Tom Riddle gets a badge, then Lupin gets a silver badge. Also, this isn't canon. This is just a joke. I understand that this didn't actually happen.
Hey, right.
Lupin gets a silver badge, and he's just like, maybe I should just handle this. You guys are stressed out. I'll take care of it.
Maybe Dumbledore didn't overwrite Snape on Draco because maybe there literally was no one else other than Draco that would have been a good pick. I mean, on paper, Draco is a good candidate.
Yeah.
He is. And you also have to take a grain of salt with Draco because he's literally Harry's enemy. What is Draco like outside of that? I mean, granted, is he racist and whatever? Yes, he is. But on paper, Draco is a good candidate.
Yeah.
He gets good grades. He doesn't really get in trouble. He doesn't do, you know what I mean? Blaise Zabini might have been pretty good. Yeah, that's true. Blaise Zabini was an alright dude.
Wasn't he...
He's a little arrogant, but...
But he was a year younger, right?
No, he was a year older.
Oh, was he? Oh, so see, he missed the prefect year then.
Well, we're not
why.
introduced to Blaise Zabini until book 6.
Okay.
We don't meet him until book 6 because he's part of the
We
Slug Club.
didn't know about him, so he didn't exist then. So he couldn't have been chosen.
Oh, is he? Okay, so Zabini is 6th year.
Oh, okay.
He's in the same year.
Then.
Oh yeah, Sorting Hat. That's right, Sorting Hat.
I got no defense for Dumbledore why he didn't choose Zabini now. It's just
Unless Dumbledore. Well, I don't know. We don't know much about him. Maybe he's got bad grades. Yeah, but he's in the Slug Club.
Yeah, but
he's in the Slug Club because of who his mom is.
I was gonna say. As long as his parents.
Maybe he's crap at something. I don't know. Maybe Dumbledore doesn't like his mom.
Maybe Dumbledore just gave Draco the prefect responsibilities because then prefects have to be in certain places at certain times.
Could better keep an eye on him.
To better keep an eye on him.
And Dan makes a point. Lucius does scold Draco for Hermione getting better grades. That does happen in book 2. So,
but I'm pretty sure Hermione is the most intelligent.
She's top every year. There's no way anyone's getting better grades. But Lucius scolding Draco very much pushes Draco to try to be the best all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, you get glimpses of Draco's brilliance in, like, say, book 6, when Snape is like, you're learning occlumency, blah, blah, blah. He's learning occlumency from Bellatrix Lestrange. ugh, and he's learning it. Like, Draco is obviously very talented and intelligent. He fixes that freaking vanishing cabinet. So Draco is obviously very capable and very smart. It's just that he's Harry's enemy. So we always just have to hate him.
Fair.
Jessica's like, what is happening? I was in the shower. What are we talking about? Go ahead and explain. I have to pee, so go ahead.
We finished the chapter, and we kind of got on a tangent, and we're talking about prefects and how prefects are chosen, and why Draco was chosen. Yeah, it could just be a test for Draco. May not even be as malicious as keeping an eye on him, but actually seeing what he's made of. And yes, Draco is definitely talented. And when his father is telling him that he needs to catch up to Hermione Granger, I mean, what are you going to do? Draco can just be like, she has a time turner. She has literally twice as much time as me to do everything. She's in 2 places at once right now. What do you want me to do, Dad?
Yeah.
You want to get me a time turner, Dad? So I can be in 2 places at once? Dad? Didn't think so, Dad.
Yeah.
Looks like Lucius's connections in the ministry aren't as watertight as he may think. Couldn't even get his son a time turner. Pathetic.
Well, to be fair, no one knew Hermione had it. Draco didn't know she had it. Draco probably wasn't even paying attention. The only time he paid attention was when she punched him in the face.
That's true.
Also, you know, if we're saying that the heads of houses pick the prefects, the Snape picked Draco, and you know, Snape obviously gives Draco preferential treatment and all of that. But on paper, Draco is a good candidate. And again, maybe Dumbledore thought this is a chance to kind of see if he'll veer off from the influence of his parents, which is very hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Or they're just smart. But I mean, Draco becomes a prefect, and then, as soon as he becomes a prefect, what happens? He joins Umbridge's Hogwarts Inquisitorial Squad.
Is that really his fault, though?
He was
young, impressionable, doesn't want to have his skin carved up.
She's got Fudge's ear. Maybe Lucius was like, Draco, you need to do this. You need to do this,
exactly.
Draco.
There was no getting away for Draco.
Maybe he didn't really have a choice.
Pushing him into it, and Umbridge is sucking him in.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe Draco would rather not.
He's hearing about what's happening to Harry and everyone else. It's like, I'm good.
Yeah, maybe he's like, but he's very enthusiastic about the work. But yes, there's a lot of pressure on Draco. He's an interesting God. The Draco discussion will be great when we do that live stream.
We're gonna have to talk about
boy, Draco Malfoy.
Maybe that's it. We should just leave it at that.
We've been 15 minutes about Draco being a prefect.
I know. How did we get on this from the chapter? Because James was a prefect.
And he's doing his rounds, and then someone was like, how the hell did that even happen?
Yeah, how did James Potter get his prefect badge?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
What can I say? It's complicated.
What's the next chapter called? Prefects?
No. It's called I Can't Get This Out of My Pocket. The next chapter is called What Have I Got in My Pockets is Precious.
A ring. Are you still listening to that audiobook?
Here and there, off and on, off and on. I've actually not listened to it this week at all.
But, like Smeagol, it's always in my mind. It's what they're precious.
That's not a riddle. You know what? It worked for
Bilbo, okay? The next chapter is called 17.
Sweet 17. Oh yeah, he's gonna get to do magic outside of school now. Oh, that was a point I wanted to bring up that was mentioned.
I didn't look at I saw the post. Is it the Russian Hobbit or the Russian Lord of the Rings? Because I watched the Russian Lord of the Rings when I lived in Russia. I turned on the channel, turned the TV on like one day randomly, and it was on, and I watched it, and it was
fantastic.
It was great.
Fantastically bad?
Oh,
or
yes.
Just great?
Oh, yes. There were a lot of doppelgangers in it. It's great. We could actually stream reacting to that, because that's on YouTube. Like, we could watch that anytime.
Oh,
the Russian
totally down.
Tolkien adaptation.
Maybe before you start reading through.
Maybe before we read Lord of the Rings, we
want to do our reactions to Fantastic Beasts first.
Mm-hmm.
Which, maybe we can do that at some point next week. Either way, one of the things I wanted to point out in that last chapter was Lily questions, oh, we're not supposed to do magic at home? I do it all the time. I couldn't tell whether she was being sarcastic or, what? How have you not had your wand broken?
She is either joking or extreme oversight by the author. One of the two.
Yeah.
That's what's happening there. Because I read that too, and I was like, what?
Exactly. There actually was a comment we had that pointed out how Hermione does magic outside of Hogwarts.
Oh, I saw that.
I think I brought that up too. But I think because she's on the Hogwarts Express, maybe they let
Well,
it go.
because in the first book, she says, I've tried loads of spells, and they've all worked for me.
Yeah.
But she's a muggle-born... Technically, that does not apply until you've actually enrolled in Hogwarts. Until you've actually gone to school. That law doesn't apply until you've been to school.
Okay.
I've clarified that.
Maybe our next comment video, I know we just answered it, but maybe we'll answer it again and clarify it with people, because I couldn't remember, because I think I actually did ask that. Oh my god. Sorry, people, my allergies are like hitting me today,
and yes,
my throat keeps getting stuffy.
It's more about also like performing magic in front of muggles is really what it is.
So basically, after your child is born and they start showing magic, you should just start teaching them.
Well, I'm sure that's what wizard households do.
From the time they're 5 to 11, they're doing everything for you. Like, I would do it as a muggle, though.
Well, I'm sure when, like, Draco was born and he first started exhibiting, like, magic, I'm sure Lucius and Narcissa sat him down and said, it's okay, sweetie. It's because you're a wizard. Your magic is just starting to come out like Mum and Dad's. It's all right. We're going to teach you to control it. That is much nicer than they sound.
And you're the greatest wizard ever because you're our son.
And you'll be Mummy will love you so much. You're going to be the greatest ever at Hogwarts. You're going to be the bestest there ever was.
And Lucius in the background. Well, he better be.
Yeah, right. And then he just kicks Dobby just because. Just because he feels like it.
See, yep. That was bugging him yesterday.
Yeah.
Draco learned a lot of magic as a kid. Harry.
Yeah, Draco starts out light years. Everybody starts out light years ahead of Harry.
Snape, most of we knew.
Yeah,
knew more curses in 7th years when he started.
Right.
So he definitely was trying them out at home.
Right. Yeah.
God, if he knew all those curses, I would have hated to be the one to pick on him on the playground.
So what I'm saying, like, you don't want to do dueling club with Snape. No way, man.
Not even that, just the Muggle kids, because they don't even know what happened.
No, they would have no idea.
And 90% of those curses...
One of those Muggle kids that just try to deck him, and Snape would just be like muttering some shit. Some bad shit would happen. Yep.
Like, what kid is stuck with like 10-inch teeth because there's no wizards to reverse it?
The teeth just keep growing.
At Hogwarts, it's just Madame Pomfrey's like, boom, okay, you're all fixed.
Yep.
He goes to the school nurse. The school nurse, like,
chew on this wood. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
it works for beavers. Like, take this Tylenol and go lay down.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about everyone else, but that's all the school nurse ever did for us.
Yeah,
I'm bleeding profusely out of my leg. What should I do?
Here's a Band-Aid. Go lay down.
Go lay down.
Yep.
I say, here's some, like, Tylenol. The nurse couldn't even give us Tylenol.
No.
That was the worst part. I have a headache. Go lay down. Drink some water. I don't know what to tell you.
Take 2. Call me in the morning. Yep. Hi, Pam. I said, hi, Parm, and she literally, she was doing this. I said, hi, Pam. And she went,
would you call me?
hi, Pam.
You watch your mouth.
Hi, Pam. Love that, Pam.
All right, so are we ready for the next chapter?
Are we going to read the next chapter?
I think so.
Is that what we're doing? We're not going to...
Well, you didn't finish
I
the
didn't.
chapter, so.
Doctor gave me a pill and I grew a new kidney. Oh, dear.
Well, I wonder if there's, like, secret agent healers. Do you think the wizarding world has, like, stationed secret healers in doctor positions around the world so that when a muggle family with a magical child comes in and something happened, they're there so you can, appoint them to them? Like, oh, that's odd. I'll send you to our overgrown teeth specialist.
Dan, I have not seen Star Trek 4 in years. Give me a little credit. Okay.
Just because that's a big bottle.
It is. There's a lot of water in there.
Actually, bought it for Ramona's soccer tournaments and stuff so she could have all the water she needs. And then she, never wanted to use it.
It's fine. Now I get to use it.
Yep. All right. I'm just going to grab a drink, but you go ahead. I'll still be awake.
There is some heavy drinking, angsty arguing, and throwing up in this chapter. You have all been warned. Pim! Don't you want to listen to the story, Pim? Pim? No? Okay, fine. Chapter 110, 6th year, 17. Thursday, 10th of March, 1977. Oh, that's Remus's problem. He's a Pisces. That's why he's so moody and irritable.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Happy birthday, Remu! 3 gangly, noisy, highly excitable teenage boys jumped onto Remus's bed at the crack of dawn. It was not the same as when they were 11. For one thing, Remus's legs were a lot longer. For another, they were all much heavier. You're off, you wankers, Remus grumbled. What time is it? Time is immaterial, James said, wearing a brightly coloured pointed party hat. It is your birthday. Your 17th birthday, Sirius added, wearing a polka dot party hat at a rakish angle on his head. You're of age, Peter said, lunging at Remus with a 4th hat, snapping the elastic under his chin. Remus glared at them all stony-faced. You're going to make me wear this all day, aren't you? They nodded, all 3 in perfect unison, the streamers on their conical headwear bobbing and flashing in the dull morning light. It's impervious to water, Sirius explained cheerfully, so you can even shower with it on. He winked, and Remus hoped he wasn't blushing. Sirius had been in his bed only hours before, for a very different reason, and Remus was finding the quick transitions harder and harder to deal with. Only half an hour later, and Remus had showered, hat still firmly on his head, opened about 50 birthday cards, wishing him many happy returns. I didn't think I knew 50 people, and eaten a generous slice of Mrs. Potter's chocolate cake. And you'll get your proper present later, James said cryptically. At the party. You lot are mad, Remus said as they filed down into the common room. You shouldn't go through all this trouble. Shut up, Moony, Peter said good-naturedly. Happy birthday, Remus! The girls chorused in the dining hall. They were all wearing party hats too, apparently thanks to Lily's persuasiveness. Nice one, Evans, James winked at her, giving her a sly nod with his elbow. Knew you wouldn't let the side down. Oh, bugger off, Potter, she elbowed him back, looking very pleased and a bit flushed. The usual 3-round rendition of Happy Birthday accompanied Remus's birthday breakfast, and he was so used to it by now that he even stood and gave a shy bow once they'd finished. Then the owls arrived. There was a card from Ferox, which was unexpected. Remus hadn't been sure if they were still on speaking terms after their last meeting. There was also a note from Dumbledore. He cracked the cherry-red seal quickly under the table and read it as fast as possible. Mr. Lupin, many happy returns for the day. I understand we have a few things to discuss. Please present yourself at the headmaster's office at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Sincerely, Albus Dumbledore. Here we go, he sighed under his breath. Sirius, who had an annoying habit of reading over his shoulder, leaned in. Do you want someone to go with you? Remus shook his head but smiled at Sirius, trying to be kind. No, thanks for offering, but I think it's better if I do it alone. Sirius nodded, looking troubled all the same. The day passed slowly, the meeting with Dumbledore lurking at the end of it like some malevolent spider. Remus tried imagining the scenario over in his head, coming up with a script, or at least something coherent to say in the defence of his wild demands. Nothing came to him, and at 3:45 p.m. that afternoon, he found himself walking to the headmaster's office very slowly indeed. He'd been mad to even suggest this in the first place. No one else needed as reason to help in the war effort. James would never do it. But then, Remus supposed, there was nothing James wanted that Dumbledore could give him, unless Dumbledore held the key to Lily Evans's undying love. He found the staircase already open and ascended just as slowly, remembering only at the last minute to rip the party hat from his head. Good afternoon, Mr. Lupin. Happy birthday. Dumbledore was sitting at his desk as usual. This time he wasn't writing letters. He was waiting patiently, a benign smile on his face. Thanks, Remus replied, warily sitting down in the chair opposite. He thought for a moment before saying, Do you mind just calling me Remus? As you wish, Dumbledore nodded. He seemed to be in a good humour. How does it feel, coming of age? It's okay. I have a few things for you, sent on to me from Mrs. Orwell. Matron? Indeed. Dumbledore gestured at a shoebox which seemed to have appeared on the large mahogany desk out of thin air. I believe there are a few items in here which belong to you, which were held in trust at St. Edmund's. Oh, wow. Remus touched the lid of the box tentatively but didn't open it. He wanted to be alone for that. There is also that matter of your inheritance. My what? Your father left a will. He left some provisions for your mother, and the rest for you. He was not a wealthy man, I should say, but nevertheless his vault in Gringotts now belongs to you. Dumbledore pulled a key from his pocket and passed it across the desk. Remus held it in his hand and thought about Lyle, who hadn't been on his mind in months. Thank you, he said, remembering his manners. And there are other legal matters, as you well know. Dumbledore clasped his hands in front of him, long, slender fingers intertwined. He was waiting for a response. The register, Remus said. The register, the handmaster agreed. He pulled out a piece of parchment and pushed that across the desk too. It was a form. Ministry of Magic, Declaration of Lycanthropic Infection. Remus felt queasy. There was a dotted line at the bottom awaiting his signature. He sat on his hands and looked at Dumbledore. What do you want me to do with it? Leo Ferox led me to believe that you already had a very good idea of what to do with it, Remus, the old man replied, his eyes serious.
You are an adult. I leave it in your hands.
Remus picked up the parchment immediately, held it up to eye level, and tore it clean in two. Dumbledore smiled again.
Admirably done.
Ferox told you something else, though, Remus said, trying to make eye contact but finding it extremely difficult. Dumbledore was not like anyone else. He smelled just as strongly of magic as any other witch or wizard, but nothing else. He had no unique signifier at all.
He did. I think perhaps you can anticipate my response.
Remus felt something deflate inside of him, making room for the coming rage.
So it's a no,
he said flatly. Dumbledore inclined his head gently.
Not entirely. A request for patience, perhaps.
With respect, Remus heard the hardness in his own voice, and it surprised him but made him braver.
There isn't time for patience. There never is when one is young, Dumbledore replied softly. Remus, I know how things must seem to you. Believe me. You didn't see her. They're suffering. Right now. Many people are suffering, Remus. You have spent precious little time in the wizarding world, yet whose fault is that?
Remus muttered fiercely. Dumbledore gave him a silencing glance.
But once you have, you will understand why attitudes are a very long way from changing. What you are asking.
What about what you're asking? Remus shouted, incandescent. Of Ferox and Moody and the Potters and...
I am asking for an enormous leap of faith,
Dumbledore said very loudly. Sorry.
You gonna make it?
I don't know.
Let it out.
He didn't shout. You couldn't call it shouting at all, but it was no longer kind.
From many people, and I will keep asking until the war is won. That must be our focus, for now.
I want to win the war, Remus said, still trying to control his volume.
As much as anyone, but I want something worth winning, too. In time, when we have the resources, when we have the strength to fight another battle. I want a promise. I'm aware of that,
Dumbledore said, his voice changing almost imperceptibly, a deep frown lining his forehead.
I cannot give you one.
Fine, Remus stood.
Then I'm promising you, I'm not giving up.
He was furious, and Dumbledore had the gall to smile at him.
I would expect no less from Lyle Lupin's son.
Remus wanted to scream, "Fuck you!" but decided that as he'd already been disowned from one institution today, it was probably best to avoid any risk on expulsion. He grabbed the shoebox, turned and marched out. Remus was practically blind with rage as he pelted down the... Ow!
What?
He just scratched me trying to attack her.
Oh.
Stop being so rude! Oh my god. Why is he so rude to everyone?
I don't know.
He is literally mean to everybody.
They're just very lively tonight.
No, he is mean to everybody all the time. Don't deny it. He is.
Oh, so is Peter the oldest of all of them? Then? September 9th, 1959? Yeah. Peter's the oldest. See, I would not have expected that. Peter comes across as, like, the little brother. I would expect him to be the youngest. How bad did he get you?
Bad enough that it feels like I got stung by a yellow jacket.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got you good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't like you right now, sir. Remus was...
Maybe that's why, because Lily's birthday was in January 30th, 1960. So maybe that's why she was saying she does magic outside of school. Because she's old enough that she can. So she was making a joke. Oh, you babies.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
been able
maybe.
to do it for months now.
Remus was practically blind with rage as he pelted down the spiral staircase from Dumbledore's office, shoebox under his arm, head bowed so that he ran straight into Sirius waiting at the bottom. "Oh!" Sirius said, pushing both hands up against Remus's chest in an attempt to slow him down. "What's up, Moony?" "What are you doing here?" Remus snarled. "Just waiting for you. I know you didn't want company, I just thought..." "You never bloody listen!" Remus ranted, pushing past. Sirius grabbed his arm and wouldn't let go, allowing Remus to half drag him down the corridor. "I know I'm terrible," he was saying, jogging slightly to keep up with Remus's longer strides. "Never do as I'm told, do I? Keep shouting at me, I deserve it. Hey, want to hit me?" Remus stopped and looked at him, the mercurial grin on his face. That serious black grin. "No, I don't want to hit you." "Oh, good. Want to punch a wall?" "No." Remus carried on walking a bit slower. "Want to get stoned?" "No." "Drunk?" "Maybe." "Perfect," Sirius said. They were now walking at a regular pace toward the dining hall. "Because I think that's what half the school has in mind after dinner. What's in the box?" "It's..." Remus held it in both hands now. It wasn't very heavy, there couldn't be much. He could feel leaves of paper sifting around inside. "Just some stuff I think my dad left me. I'm not opening it till later." Sirius shrugged easily. "Fair enough." Sirius's general loveliness continued through dinner, sausages and mash with onion gravy, until dessert when Emmeline appeared. Remus had been halfway to a good mood when she showed up at their table and squeezed herself onto Sirius's lap. She kissed him full on the mouth for a long time. "Happy birthday, Remus," she smiled politely once they'd finished. He nodded in response and set down his spoon. She didn't seem to notice. "I'm so excited about the party," she said generally to the table. "Should be good," James said jovially. "Moony's birthdays always are." "Why does everyone call you Moony anyway?" Emmeline asked, looking at Remus. He scowled at her. "Not everyone. Just my friends." She blinked and frowned, the creases in her brow marring her beauty only momentarily. Sirius squeezed her her waist. "Hey, Em, why don't I meet you later? We've got some stuff to do to get ready." "Okay," she smiled again. "Remember your promise." She snogged him again. "Promise?" Remus asked upstairs in their bedroom 15 minutes later. James and Peter were overseeing the decorations in the common room, and Sirius made up some excuse for not helping. "What did you promise her?" "Oh, just that I'd walk her back to her common room after the party." Remus raised an eyebrow. "Via the astronomy tower?" Sirius laughed, unbuttoning his shirt to change. "Maybe. Why?" "Nothing." Remus sat on his bed. The shoebox was still unopened on his bedside table. He wasn't going to look today. Maybe not even tomorrow. "What about you and Mary?" Sirius asked, selecting a clean black shirt from his messy chest of drawers. "That thing finished now or what?" "Yeah," Remus nodded, watching him. This is it, he thought. This is when you tell him. "It was just an experiment, sort of. Do you know what I mean?" Sirius murmured, more focused on buttoning up his shirt. "What, wasn't good?" "It was okay. Just not as good as..." He swallowed and he said it fast. "Not as good as when it's me and you." Sirius looked up from his buttons and stared at Remus across the room. Remus was glad for the distance. Sirius's expression was hard to read, so Remus pressed on. "Is it like that for you?" Sirius returned to his dresser, looking for jeans now. His back turned, he said quietly, "Yeah." "Pardon?" Remus said, raising his voice. Sirius sighed, but he didn't turn round. He closed the drawer
apparently deciding that the jeans he had on would do. I said, yeah, it's better with you. Right. Remus was so surprised by this response that he couldn't think of anything else to say. Unfortunately, this gave Sirius an opportunity to speak instead. He turned, sweeping his long hair back over his head casually. I suppose it's because we know each other so well, eh? Right, I better get down there and help before Prongs comes after me with a jelly legs, Jinx. We'll send Peter to get you when it's ready. With that, Sirius disappeared down the stairs. 4 hours later, and Remus was well and truly drunk. Not drunk, pissed, bladdered, trolleyed, paralytic. He couldn't remember how much he'd had, and he didn't care. He was going to have a good time if it killed him. Fuck Dumbledore. Fuck Greyback, Ferox, Livia, Emmeline, and Sirius fucking Black. The party was in full swing. Everyone was now wearing a shiny, pointy birthday hat, bopping along to the blaring music. Remus hadn't even minded the disco tracks. He staggered to his armchair and sank into it with yet another bottle of something lovely and strong. He was feeling very warm and very sleepy. Lazily, he allowed his gaze to wander to Sirius, chatting by the turntable, hips slouched forward just so. Remus let himself stare for just a bit. He was entitled. Their first kiss was exactly a year ago. It was a silly little anniversary, considering everything that had happened in between, but Remus felt a small purr of satisfaction all the same. Fucking prick. Him and Emmeline have been together for a while now, Lily said to Remus, coming to sit on the armrest. Her eyes were wide and unfocused. She had an easy smile. Remus carefully took control of his facial features and smiled back at her as if he hadn't had a care in the world. You sound surprised. Well, I am a bit. I didn't see him as the sort of bloke who wants a regular girl. Remus shrugged, perhaps because he couldn't say anything to speak about and saying. Perhaps because he couldn't speak without saying too much. Lily carried on regardless. And I know it sounds horrible, and I know he's your friend, so just tell me to shut up. But I sort of think, he's only going out with her to upset his family. What do you mean? Remus asked, taking a very long swig from his fire whiskey. Oh, Lily slurred, maybe even drunker than he was. Everyone knows Black's sort of weird crusade against his mum never goes with pure-blood girls. There was Mary. She started counting Sirius's conquests off on her fingers. She's Muggle-born. Evangelina, Florence, Avdi, now Emmeline. Might just be a coincidence. Remus was worried he might not be able to control his voice much longer. It was getting horribly high and nervous. Lily laughed, spilling some of her own drink. Severus Black never does anything by coincidence. It's all calculated with him. She chuckled to herself, raising a goblet to her lips. He'd shag a vampire if there was one at Hogwarts. Remus stood up very suddenly, knuckles cracking. Lily almost fell off the arm of the chair in fright. What's up? She asked, confused, looking blearily up at him. I'm gonna be sick, Remus said, realizing that he really was. He bolted away and up the stairs as fast as he could and stumbled into the bathroom just in time, retching into the toilet bowl. He rocked back on his ankles, sweating and cold. He'd drunk too much, now he just wanted to lie down and sleep and not think about anything. Remus brushed his teeth and washed his face in cold water. He felt less queasy, but no less sober. He pulled on his pyjama bottoms and opened the door. Sirius was standing on the other side, leaning against his bedpost with his hands in his pockets. He looked so thoroughly himself. Their eyes met and held. Sirius broke first. Came up to check and see you're all right. Remus closed the door behind him, stepping forward. Yeah, he said warily. Just a bit too pissed, that's all. going to bed. Look, the stuff I said, Sirius started. Remus braced himself, not sure what was coming. I'm really sorry, Sirius said helplessly. I don't know why I am, but I'm just sorry. He placed a hand on Sirius's shoulder, seemingly in an apologetic gesture. It was hot on Remus's bare skin, but he didn't shrug it away. He just hoped that they might finally part and he could go to bed. Sirius would return downstairs to the party, but instead Sirius kissed him. Feeling a fool, Remus kissed him back, hungrily, toothpaste and whiskey. Sirius pushed forward, stumbling slightly, and leaned heavily on Remus, gripping both his shoulders now. Remus pulled away, suddenly remembering what was wrong. You're drunk, he said. Yeah, Sirius slurred, grinning. So are you? Yeah, Remus agreed. He pulled back, leaving Sirius to balance by himself. He rubbed the back of his head. I don't think we should. I think you'll regret it. Since when do you care? Sirius purred, leaning in again. Remus stepped back sharply, pressing his hand to Sirius's chest to keep him at bay. No, Sirius. What about Emmeline? Sirius shook his head dizzily. Fuck Emmeline, he grunted. Remus rolled his eyes. But you already do, don't you, Black? That's the problem. So... Sirius spoke slowly, mind foggy with drink. We have to stop our thing just because of her? Our thing? God, Sirius, you're unbelievable. What? Sirius! Emmeline's tipsy voice echoed up the staircase. Where are you? They both turned, looking down to the shadows. You better go to her, Remus said, walking over to his bed. Sirius followed him like a lost puppy, pulling at the waistband of his pyjama bottoms needily. Come on, just... No! Sirius! I'm coming to get you! Remus pushed him away one last time. Go on. I don't want her up here. Sirius stared at him for a bit longer, drink still blurring his reactions, making him slow and stupid. Okay, I'll come back, and we can talk. No, Remus said again. We've talked. It's over. Good night, Sirius.
Fantastic drunk performance, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Get that out of there. Oh, man. Getting drunk always makes things more complicated.
It does.
And hi, Vane.
In vino veritas.
Yes. Dan needs a screenshot. What's up?
What's up?
I think there's a way to actually clip it. Create highlight video or add stream marker. Add highlight video? Can I? Oh, cool. So yeah, we can like go back and make a highlight of it.
Great. That's fantastic. Lovely.
I'm not gonna like spend too much time. I just want to see if I can like find it.
I agree, Maddie. It's not fair to Remus. Point blank. You stop that.
I'm not gonna play with it too much right now, but I guess you can. On top, there's a little clip highlight creator. So I think that's open to anyone. Anyone can make a clip. So if there's anything you see that you like.
No, I agree. It's definitely not fair to Remus. Not even a little bit.
No, definitely not.
Because they both know what's going on here. But at the same time, Remus should probably
vocalize his feelings.
Yeah.
Because he really, anytime Sirius brings it up, he's just like, yeah, it's whatever.
But I mean,
I don't care.
I can kind of sympathize with Lupin a little bit, because when you're like in a friends with benefits almost situation, and then you catch feelings, you don't want to be the person to be like, I am catching feelings. It's like
Right.
hard to.
Do you risk what you already have?
Right. It's.
I mean, I get it. Same time.
But I think Remus needed to say it.
Yeah. There's plenty of fish in the sea, Remus.
He's-
Maybe they don't have that smile, but there's plenty of fish.
He's being treated like the Remus is a martyr. That's always been his problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that's fair.
And now with this new information coming to light from Lily, is he only with Remus because he's a werewolf and he wants to piss off his parents?
Right.
If there was a vampire at school, he'd shag it just to piss off his mum.
But what about a werewolf? You think that?
I think, yeah. So, either way, Remus needed to do it, because whether or not Sirius is gay, whether or not Sirius is in denial, whatever Sirius has got going on,
It's not a question about...
whatever's going on in his brain, he's still using Lupin.
It's not a question of sexual orientation. It's a question of love. And Remus loves Sirius, but does Sirius love him back?
Well, he's not treating him like he loves him. Sirius.
Well, no.
Sirius, I'm coming to get you.
God, so annoying.
Emmeline Vance is actually in the book series. Sirius actually mentions her. He says something about how she's like disappeared or something.
Oh.
Yeah, she's actually in the series. She's mentioned.
Did he really actually have a thing with her then? I mean,
He never discusses that with Harry.
I'm pretty sure all the names so far, maybe save for a few that the author took liberty to make up, but most of them have been accurate. They've been mentioned once or twice.
Yeah, the majority of the characters or peripheral characters are all canon characters, with some exceptions, but
yeah,
like Marlene McKinnon is a real person.
Well, yeah, and Mary.
Emmeline Vance is a real person. I don't think Desdemona Lewis is a real character, though. That name does not come to mind.
Oh, interesting discussion that went down in the chat.
Oh.
I was going to respond to was, they always celebrate Lupin's birthday, Sirius's, and I'm sure James's. I don't remember if they point out any of James's birthdays. Never have they ever mentioned doing anything for Peter.
When's Peter's birthday?
Let me scroll up in the chat.
Bertha Jorkins went missing from the ministry, by the way, Dan. Bertha Jorkins.
So, Sirius...
Who I'm actually surprised is not in the story, because Sirius mentions he went to school with Bertha Jorkins.
Here, Jessica found it. September 9th, 1959.
Maybe that's another part of the reason why he does the betrayal. Or maybe it's not discussed in the story because Lupin does not give an F.
Yeah, but he's all about the Marauders.
Yeah, but he didn't even notice that Peter broke up with Desi. And he was like, oh, that happened? Sorry.
Yeah. Just, I guess, some Marauders are more equal than others.
That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. No, 9th of September wasn't Peter Pettigrew. I don't know when Peter's birthday was. I know Sirius's birthday is like... Sirius's birthday is like November 4th or November 3rd. Something like that.
Who's?
Sirius. The only reason...
November 3rd. Remus's is March 10th. James's is the 27th. Hi, Glenn. I can't remember if I said hi to you, but...
Yep, Snape is January 9th. 9th of September. That's what it said. That's what Jessica said when she was looked up. Oh, that was corrected. I don't know.
All right, let me see.
Um,
I just saw that and I was like, oh, that's
cat scratches are the worst. Um. Either way, Bertha Jorkins went missing from the ministry. The reason why I remember Sirius's birthday is because it is the closest birthday to my birthday of any Harry Potter character. Me and Sirius together.
Who was in my month? Wasn't it Sprout? It's in May.
Sprout and Neville, I think.
I didn't think Neville was. Maybe.
I think you, yeah.
Google says September 9th. Okay, so I guess it is September 9th.
Oh my god, you know what I think?
What?
The characters who have their birthdays closest to mine.
Yeah.
Are Sirius.
Uh-huh.
And Voldemort.
Oh.
It's in the next month, but still, it's the closest.
Oh.
Voldemort.
You just split them down the middle.
Yeah, I do. Like a soul.
I don't know if it's weird that Dumbledore is gay.
Yeah, Sprout is the May birthday.
Okay. I mean, April showers bring May flowers. It's appropriate.
Makes sense.
Sprout is in May.
Mm-hmm. Sirius on one side, Voldemort on the other. There it is.
It's true. But
although Sirius is
how
closer.
did you feel about Dumbledore being gay?
When I found out that Dumbledore was gay, I remember thinking, I could see it. I got some gay vibes when I read 7. I got some seriously gay vibes with him in Grindelwald. I was like, I think it was there.
Not to mention his impeccable fashion sense.
I mean, if you want to go on
the man's got style.
If you want to go on stereotypes, sure.
I'm speaking from experience. I don't think I've met a gay man who doesn't dress extremely well. I have no fashion sense.
That's fair. I'm pretty sure every gay man I have ever met always dresses so well. It makes me feel like a slob.
I don't know. Maybe it is a stereotype, but...
Oh, Vane says he and Neville share a birthday. Nice. That's awesome. Nice. Yeah.
Now, see, I would have liked that.
I know you would have. I know. Ramona's birthday is actually closer to Voldemort's than mine, but it's okay. Well, it's not about Ramona's birthday. It's about my birthday. And those are the characters that I'm closest to. At least me and Sirius were in the same month.
I wonder who her favorite character is.
The next closest to you. So you've got Sprout in May.
Yeah.
And then you've got Draco in June.
Okay.
And then you've got Fred and George in April.
Nice, Fred and George.
Because they were born on April 1st.
I'll take that.
Yeah. So there you go.
So basically have...
That's your equidistance. You got Sprout like a couple of days to a week after. Mm-hmm. And you got Fred and George over here. And then you got Draco on the other side.
I'll take it.
It's pretty solid. It's pretty good.
Do any of their birthdays have any meaning?
Yeah.
Like, did she just choose arbitrary days?
I don't think so.
This sounds about right,
I know that for some of the... I know that... astrology kind of does play a role in the specific days. She chose the days specifically, but I don't know much about Why?
Maybe,
I'm pretty sure
maybe an
Hermione's.
interesting topic for a future video.
I know that.
Meanings of the character's birthday.
Yeah,
Yes.
we could do that. I'm pretty sure Hermione's is on September 1st or 2nd or something. Hermione's is like right at the beginning.
I thought someone said it.
No, they were talking about Peter Pettigrew, and then there was a whole dispute.
I thought someone mentioned Hermione though.
John Cleese and I share a birthday. That's cool.
Nice.
That's awesome. Ricardo Montalban and I share a birthday. Gone.
I don't.
It's pretty exciting.
I think I looked it up. I don't share a birthday with anyone.
I share a birthday.
Renown.
I share a birthday with Ricardo Montalban, JFK Jr., Joe DiMaggio, and some other people. Those are the only 3 I can remember off the top of my head, though.
September 19th.
Okay, see, I knew it was September something.
Fall birthdays for the characters. Not a lot of spring babies.
There's quite a few in March. There's like 3 in March. Ron is in March.
I know there's quite a few, but
James
it seems
is
like
in March.
There's
a cluster.
There's a heavy cluster in the fall. When's JK's?
J.K. Rowling, I'm pretty sure, is July 31st. I'm pretty sure her birthday is the same as Harry's birthday.
That makes sense.
I think. Hang on. Yeah. Her birthday is Harry's birthday. Which is pretty cool, I think.
Oh, I share a birthday with Billy Joel.
There you go.
It's like the best I got.
Rosario Dawson is pretty cool. She's awesome.
She looks familiar, but I can't think of
She's
anything
an
she was
actress.
in.
Men in Black.
I don't remember in that.
She's the girl that Will Smith is into.
Oh, okay.
I've seen her in other stuff too, but Men in Black was like the first thing that came to mind. John Corbett. This is an actor. There you go.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean,
J.M. Barrie. That's cool. He wrote Peter Pan, man. That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Ghostface Killer? Seriously?
Okay, that's pretty
That's cool. Look, Howard Carter.
All right, so I got some.
Howard Carter is pretty awesome.
I got some.
You got some? Come on. This is good stuff.
Also, Japan made National Goku Day on my birthday too, so that's cool.
Yeah, see, there you go. National Goku Day. There you are. You got so. I wonder if there's a holiday on my birthday in Japan.
No clue. There's an actual Peter Pettigrew? What?
He's an Australian football player, apparently.
Oh.
And September 9th is his birthday.
Oh.
Not the character's
So
birthday. That's what Dan was saying, is that the September 9th is the football player, not the character.
Got you.
Fall birthdays equals Christmas sex. Well, I suppose.
When you put it that way, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you knew it was a Merry Christmas.
It was, yeah, you got something for Christmas. My birthday is pretty special. September 23rd, aka Doomsday. Very nice. Katie, our longtime subscriber, shares her birthday with Ron Weasley.
That's cool.
It's pretty awesome. Her and Ron have the same birthday. That's pretty fantastic. I'm a little jealous.
I know.
The best I got is a couple of weeks on Sirius. Right there. Right at the edge.
If you could share a birthday with any character in Harry Potter, who would it be?
If I could share a birthday with any Harry Potter character?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Sirius is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Voldemort would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't he born on January 1st?
December 31st.
December 31st. Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
You get fireworks every year for your birthday?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Voldemort would be pretty cool. Week after Christmas.
I would hate
birthday,
for my
then
birthday
boom.
to be around Christmas.
Well,
because
maybe when I was a kid, but well, it doesn't matter for Tom. He was an orphan. He wasn't
Yeah.
getting presents for his
I was
birthday.
gonna say.
So whatever.
You know what happens when your birthday is around Christmas?
Yeah,
Let's
we're
just
aware.
do all presents on one day.
Well, we don't.
We're
do
just
that.
gonna buy you a bunch of presents and then we're just gonna split them up.
Yeah, we figured you were being sarcastic there,
Yeah.
girly. We didn't think you were serious. I don't know. I mean, July, like Harry and Neville, July, middle of the summer, you have the potential to have like a really good birthday party. Because it's middle of the summer, you can have your birthday party anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I like having my birthday in the spring because it's not too hot out. But it's
Glenn
always
says she
raining.
shares her birthday with Barbara Streisand.
That's a cool birthday.
Here, look up mine. I only remembered 3. Look up mine.
Oh, I got it. All right. When's your birthday? Just kidding.
Christina Applegate, JFK Jr.
Junior.
Augusto Pinochet. Oh, that's terrible. I don't like that.
Joe DiMaggio.
Joe DiMaggio.
Ringo Sheena.
Andrew Carnegie. Pope John Paul III. Carl Benz. Ricardo Montalban. One of the Bush twins. All right,
Amy
I guess.
Grant.
Amy Grant. Ben Stein!
That's pretty awesome.
Ben Stein!
What happened to Ben Stein?
Donovan McNabb. I don't know what happened to Ben Stein.
That guy was like, he had his moment with Ferris Bueller.
I want to know who some of these other people are.
Then he like killed it with the Visine commercials, and then he just disappeared.
Maybe he
Oh,
retired.
no, he also had the show, Win Ben Stein's Money.
Yeah.
Remember?
Oh, I remember Win Ben Stein's Money. Yep. Maybe he retired. The man's old. Maybe he's just done.
Maybe.
Maybe he's had enough.
That man had to be the funniest man alive who could tell a joke and keep it
Straight face.
with no emotion.
November 5th forever. Can't forget. Ben is like, I can't forget my wife's birthday. It's the 5th of November. Deja vu. I don't remember what video it was, but you've already had this almost exact conversation. I'm pretty sure we actually have probably had this conversation. Probably over a year ago. I think we did this at one point. Because we were talking about Harry Potter birthdays another time. Yeah. And I think we went into this whole thing.
Oh, okay. It's probably around the same time, too.
Probably. Could be. Could literally be deja vu. Matrix is glitching right now.
I always forget the conversations we have on here.
Me too.
So there's new people coming in. And
so many things. And then people ask questions and then we answer the questions and then we reroute to other I don't know. A lot of people cheat their kids when their birthdays are in December. It's not fair to the kids. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if you can do both, you should do both, you know? I mean, Ramona's birthday is literally a week before Christmas, and we don't lump it together. We do separate.
yeah. Well, kind of. What we do is starting in like September, October, we start stockpiling presents.
And then split
And
them
then
into
we
2
split 'em up.
sections. Yeah. Someone said there's a young dude's fan fiction from Sirius's perspective.
That would be interesting. Because I know in the last stream, I do remember that, we did have a conversation about how we'd like to see that.
From Sirius's
Yeah.
perspective?
Like the whole school experience from Sirius's.
I did hear on the podcast today that the question was posed. If you could read Harry Potter, the story of Harry Potter, from another character's perspective, what character would you want to see the story from? Like, what character's perspective would you want to see the story from? So Harry is like still the main character. He's still the chosen one. Like, nothing changes except for the character's perspective. Who would you like to see the story from?
I think I have to think about this a little bit. But hello, Tom, and welcome. Thank you for
Tom
uploading.
Longsocks? I love that name. Thank you for uploading. Your narrating is awesome. I work a lot outdoors in the UK. I've been listening to you for the past 4 weeks. Oh, thank you.
So glad we can keep you entertained.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you for liking my narrating and reading. I really appreciate that.
It's got to be from Hermione's. Yeah, I think Hermione would be interesting. But at the same time, Neville would be very interesting too. But the problem is, Neville's story for like the first 3/4 of the entire story is going to be more or less kind of boring.
How scary do you think Snape would be in the books from Neville's perspective? To see how terrifying Snape is, that would be great.
It would be interesting. And I think it could be done, but I think the earlier ones would kind of drag maybe a little bit until you got to like 6th year when Neville starts the
Neville starts getting good in 5.
Yeah,
Neville starts getting
like,
good in 5.
when you see what he's doing like at the school and everything when Snape's the headmaster.
Oh,
like,
in 7?
That's where it really gets interesting.
I know, but he kicks butt at the Department of Mysteries.
Yeah.
But Dumbledore, besides Dumbledore, Voldy. I feel like if you read the story from Voldy's perspective, though, it would be...
Oh, Voldemort's would be so...
It would be very unrelatable as far as, like, reading something that you could relate to. Because he's so evil.
Off, I can't picture Voldemort's story beginning any other way than a Harry Potter musical with him and Quirrell. Like, that whole year.
We're different as can be. I think Dumbledore intended Neville to be more involved. That's why there's the Devil's Snare and the Trials to the Stone. Maybe
Dumbledore...
Well, Dumbledore knew that Neville was the other potential chosen one. Mm-hmm. So he always knew.
But did he know at that point that Neville was gifted in the ways of herbology?
Well, I don't think... Well, Sprout had to put something in there. I don't think it has anything to do with Neville. I don't think it has anything to do with Neville. Each of the other trials were ideal for the kid. Well, yeah, they were, but every teacher had to put in a trial.
Yeah.
So Sprout would have to put a plant in there. Like, I want to see it from an enemy perspective, like Draco. I think Draco is a pretty good choice. I think
Draco might be one of the better in terms of like story. I think Draco might be the best choice.
I think if you read it from like Dumbledore's perspective or even like Snape's perspective, they'd be interesting, but they'd be very, very serious and potentially depressing. But somebody like Draco, you'd get the total opposite perspective of what Harry is experiencing, but also you'd have the growing up aspect of growing up with Draco, and you'd get kind of like the shoe on the other foot. Draco would potentially be really interesting.
But all right, so Dumbledore's story I think would be interesting, but I almost feel like Dumbledore knows too much that it would lack any mystery.
Yeah, you wouldn't get any mystery if the story was from Dumbledore's perspective.
That being said, I think it would be like a great spy novel if it was from Snape's perspective.
That's true. You could have wizarding James Bond kind of style. That's true. If you wrote it the right way, Snape could be good. Or like you'd have to treat it like a spy novel.
That noir detective style. Things all changed in that one night. Sip scotch. Or fire whiskey.
Nothing's ever been the same since last Halloween. I sat in my office and there was a knock on my door.
Has to be raining, storming outside.
Dumbledore walked in. Standing there, tall and resplendent in his midnight blue robes. That little twinkle in his eyes.
I'm picturing the scene completely black and white, except Dumbledore's robes.
Yeah, Dumbledore's just in color.
Severus, we have to talk. Of course we do. We always have to talk.
Oh man, I want this fanfic now. I guess if
The
anyone
Snape
was
noir
interesting-
novel?
Yeah. If anyone was interested in writing a fanfic, there's your
There it is.
There it is.
Someone write Snape the noir
there's
novel.
your writing prompt.
Right?
I need you to teach Harry occlumency lessons, Severus.
From the sound, I knew that I had broken my glass in my fist, but I did not feel the pain of the broken edges of glass digging deeper into my palm. My fury was so great that I would now have to teach the Potter boy occlumency. And in that moment I thought, Dumbledore really must hate me. And oh shit, I've got to go meet Voldemort at 9. Fuck. There would be endless references. Yeah, there'd have to be like Lily references. It was a beautiful day outside. Very sunny. And pretty. Like Lily. Anyway.
I want this noir novel now. It'd be great.
Would be pretty good, right?
Snape, what have you been doing this last week? Give me your report.
My lord. The Longbottom boy melted a cauldron again this week, and I had to clean it up. Also, Gryffindor won the House Cup, and I lost the trophy.
Because of Dumbledore. That's really why he helped Voldemort.
Because... No, not because of Dumbledore. Because of...
Potter!
Gotta pop.
Potter! Potter!
Yeah, but then it can't make the face. Can someone explain to me why Dumbledore left Sirius in Azkaban? Didn't he know Pettigrew was a secret keeper? Man, is V confused.
He didn't know that.
Yeah, Dan just answered. No, Dumbledore didn't know that Peter was the secret keeper. He was sure at the time that it was Sirius. And also, I think there's a little bit of bias there. Because Sirius is from such a dark family, it was assumed that Sirius just went bad. Because all blacks are bad. I think there was that bias there. That they all just assumed, well, he's a black, of course he did it.
Yeah.
So Dumbledore, did not know that he was the secret keeper.
I was going to say, because then...
And that's also why I don't think they had a trial. Because he was a black, and I think it was just his family name, and they just said, you did it.
Yeah, and Dumbledore wasn't aware that they switched at the last minute.
They didn't. Yep.
So that's why Dumbledore just didn't know. He really thought it was Sirius Black. Mm-hmm. And then Sirius went and blew up half a street. So there was really nothing he could say to really protect him at that point, along with his last name, Just kind of condemned him.
Proper job. Nice one. Thank you. I want to do the Snape noir novel now. I'm ready for this.
I know. You're getting into it. It'd be great.
I was feeling it. I would, if someone wants to write it, I will voice over that. Hard. I will do it.
If Noel wasn't working on his own novel right now.
He needs to write the Snape noir.
Because that's right up his alley.
It
with,
is.
Like, the crime and everything. He would be a
Noel would love that. Maybe he'll do it anyway. Maybe he'd just get into it. Just as a good writing practice.
Yeah.
Because it would just be good practice writing.
Right. We'll send him a message. Hey, you bored? Wanna do a little something? Maybe get the juices flowing.
Get them creative juices flowing if you're feeling stuck.
Dumbledore could have investigated if he really wanted to. Looked into Sirius's mind. We had this. What did we have this discussion about? There was another thing where this happened, but with Harry and and Fudge, and why didn't they just look at Harry's memories about Voldemort being back when Cedric died?
Because your memories are...
Your memories can very easily be altered by a powerful wizard.
Yeah, they could.
So it's kind of hard. Because we see with Slughorn.
He tampered badly with it. He botched it, but you could tamper with someone's memories.
And
that's true.
If Sirius was, say, working for Voldemort could very easily have just
tampered with his
memory, and Dumbledore wouldn't have been able to tell.
Right, so number one, Voldemort is the greatest legilimens in the world. He is better at legilimency than Dumbledore. So Dumbledore could have potentially very easily messed with Sirius's memories. So even if Dumbledore did look, he wouldn't necessarily be able to tell what he was seeing was valid, which is also why I think they don't use the pensieve during criminal hearings and stuff. Yeah. We did talk about this. Educational decree number 9,000. Harry Potter should be taught in school.
That's educational decree over 9,000.
Is that what it's over 9,000?
No, it just says
that's what you're 9, saying.
I'm saying over 9,000.
I agree. Harry Potter should be taught in schools.
It is in some.
It is in some. And I know it's taught in some universities and college as well. You can take courses just on Harry Potter.
We've had listeners who either didn't want to read the books or maybe didn't understand some of it and have listened to our audiobooks and have thanked us for helping them with their classwork. So
yeah,
some schools do.
And
it's nice to see that kind of catching on.
Yeah. Well, because in my mind, I don't think these are children's books. I think these are actually really classic literature. Yeah, Snape did say they've been brainwashed by Sirius in book 3 when he has that shit fit in book 3. Yeah. And he thinks they've been brainwashed. Yeah. So, it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. Probably not probable, but it's possible.
Yeah. And that small possibility that it could have happened is the reason why they can't use memories to figure stuff out.
It was a Friday night. It was storming. I was sitting in my office, pouring myself another whiskey. There was a knock on my door. It was Dumbledore. Again. Severus! Once the new year starts, I've got to let you know that we have decided to fill the position of Defense Against the Dark Arts. Did I dare get my hopes up? Did I dare think for a moment that I, Severus Snape, could finally teach the class I've been desiring to teach since I came to this blasted school? We've decided that we're going to give the post to Gilderoy Lockhart.
Takes drag off cigarette, throws back shot of whiskey. Great.
That's great, Dumbledore. What an astute decision.
Cigarette snaps in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
End scene.
You guys taking the time to read is absolutely awesome. You're so you are very welcome. I was working in the movie theater for the first premiere. There were a lot of elementary school field trips for the movie because they read the book in class. That's cool.
What the heck, man? My school sucked.
Okay, I said I'd love Voldy, except for him and Bella getting down and dirty, but Snape's point of view sounds like it'd be great. Well, Maddie, if it helps you feel any better, I believe in my heart of hearts, in the deepest parts of my soul, that Voldemort and Bellatrix never got it on. Never happened. No. 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 No.
Believe what you want, but
Voldemort would
Cursed
never...
child.
That's not canon! That's not real. That is not real.
Says you.
Says multiple people. I'm not the only one who feels this way. Lots of people do not consider that canon. That is fan fiction.
Oh, okay.
That is fan fiction.
J.K. Rowling fan fiction.
She didn't write it.
Oh, she did?
She didn't write it.
I thought she wrote it.
No, she didn't write it.
I thought she wrote it as a stage play.
No, she didn't write it.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, it is fan fiction. I think, we've talked about this before, sex is a very human act, and therefore Voldemort would think that beneath him. He does not have any desire for any kind of physical affection of any kind. It's very human, and he would look at that as, ew. And I've told you, this kind of ties into my theory about how you make a Horcrux. I don't even think Voldemort could get off by having sex with Bellatrix. Like, I don't think he could physically get off. But that's a whole other conversation. The point is, Voldemort and Bellatrix never did it.
Probably artist curse.
Voldemort and Bellatrix never did it. I will die on that hill. I will.
Oh man, your boss took you to see the movie? Yeah, that's the coolest boss ever.
Why doesn't my boss take me to see a movie? What the hell?
Right? Where's our field trip?
Look where we work. That's why.
Fair enough.
Hi, oh Patrick.
Hi, Patrick.
Just as we're about to start closing up shop.
Well, we're still on.
We're still on.
Maddie, are you asking to explain about Horcruxes?
Yeah, are you asking me to explain my Horcrux theory?
Because we've kind of graced over it before, but
if you want me to discuss the Horcrux theory, I'll do it.
Well, I was gonna say,
or
we were discussing actually making a video about your theory of Horcruxes.
Yes, we are just talking about doing a Voldemort video. No one's tapping Voldemort. That's right. Has Snape ever dated a female? Bellatrix is fit. Bellatrix used to be fit. I don't know if she is anymore. She's always described as being once beautiful, and Azkaban has kind of taken its toll on her.
Yeah, that's true.
LOL when you said they did not have sex. No one's tapping Voldemort.
No, probably not.
I also think that's why she's so, like, in his face. Like, she wants to so badly. I think if maybe she got some, she'd be less intense. She doesn't get any.
Maybe it's just
starving for it.
You know? Is your nose the only thing you lost?
Well, Katie and I have discussed multiple times that we don't even think Voldemort has a penis.
Oh. Okay. Well, there
I
is.
think it's possible that he does not even have a penis. What would he need it for? He would literally see no reason to have one.
Going to the bathroom, I guess? I mean, he doesn't need it, but I don't see why get rid of it either.
Because it's a human distraction.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, Bellatrix is too old for Snape, I think. They were just not... Yeah. I don't know if Snape ever dated anybody. I don't think Snape really ever did date anybody, I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I don't think so.
He was too busy being a double agent. Or
then maybe, Harry said something to his son about...
maybe he was like James Bond. He never dated anyone, but...
He definitely had company.
He definitely had Snape girls.
Maybe there's Snape girls out there. Maybe there's like...
She Snapes.
Yeah, why not? Maybe he's like Robert Baratheon.
Maybe.
Maybe he's like Robert Baratheon.
Well,
and
that's the whole thing with James Bond is his wife died, and then he never found love with another woman, so he's just this promiscuous
dude.
Man-ho.
Maybe that is Snape. We would never know.
Yeah.
Everything is from Harry's perspective. How would Harry know?
You write this noir novel.
And then he just... Why am I writing the noir novel? Yeah, maybe Snape is a man.
You're a much better writer than I am.
Maybe Snape is a man-ho. Could be. It's possible. Till he has to go full double agent, and then there's just no time.
Do you see what Angela says? Angela says, I can't see Voldemort having a penis. Maybe something more like a prong. Angela, that was great.
Prong. Oh, that's great. I love that. That's fantastic. Oh, man. Voldy did say that Snape had other women. No, Voldy said to Snape that there are other women. When Snape says, save Lily. And Voldemort is like, why? There's other fish in the sea. And then Voldemort's like, it's lust, it's whatever. And then Voldemort kills her, and then Snape is like, you killed her! And Voldemort's like, there's other ones. It's fine.
There's other flowers in the garden.
There's other flowers.
Find yourself a rose.
Go after a tulip.
Yeah. Or maybe a sprout.
Or a petunia.
Oh!
The ultimate devil's snare. Oh my god. Oh, my back. Ow. Ow. I'm sorry. I feel old. My back is starting to hurt. I apologize. It's a stretch. Oh, is that canon now? His conversation at the end. He told Harry something about Snape and other women.
I mean, maybe Snape did.
I mean,
just because he was...
Maybe. I don't... I just know that in the books, what is said is that Voldemort tells Snape after Lily's dead not to worry about it. There are other women. This what's so special about this one.
I can't remember, and I haven't read the books enough to make it.
I'm pretty sure it's pretty much about Snape trying to save her, and Voldemort's just like, there's other ones. What's so special about this one?
Exactly.
Voldemort doesn't get it.
Maybe Voldemort was like, take Bellatrix off my hands.
Yeah, maybe there were evenings where, Snape and Voldemort are just like hanging out together, and Voldemort's just like, Severus, please! Go do something with her, please!
That's really why Voldemort killed Lily.
I can't take it anymore!
He didn't have to kill her to get to Harry. He just wanted to kill her so that Snape would get over her and maybe go after Bellatrix.
Maybe it was
her.
Maybe it was all about. Yeah, maybe. Voldy says that Snape agreed. Well, if you were Voldemort and you said something to your follower, and they disagreed with you, what would you do? You would probably torture them for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Severus, please, we're friends. Do this for a friend, please.
Why can't Wormtail do it?
Well, why can't he?
He's only got one hand, and it's not his good hand. Bellatrix will never accept that. You must, Severus. And besides...
This was before. He had both his hands. Well, he's missing his finger.
That's true.
Well, no.
No.
So no, there's no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know why she wouldn't be with him. There's no reason.
Please, Severus, I just want to sit in my room with Nagini and read a good book, and I cannot because she's always coming in. I can't even take a bath in private anymore. She's always, my lord, can I get you this? My lord, can I get you that?
Maybe the reason why Bellatrix and Wormtail couldn't be together is because they were just too busy fighting with each other over Voldemort.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe it was like a Love Island situation or a Flava Flav. What was that show? Flava Flav, where all the girls were competing for his love. Flavor of Love. Flavor of Love. Maybe it was like that.
Voldy had Wormtail as a lover. What? Maybe that was it. I'm sure there's a fanfic out there, and that's why
I've seen them with my eyes.
Yeah, Flavor of Love.
I watched the first season of Flavor of Love.
I caught episodes here and there back when it was on. But...
New York was crazy. She was wild. God, I watched that show many years ago. I still remember that lady. New York. Oh my God. She was ride or die for him. Big time. That show was great. Oh my God. Flavor of Love. Oh my God.
Oh man, too bad that isn't on Hulu or
anywhere. Why isn't that on Hulu? I could relive that.
Right, you could get your reality show fixation out of the way with that.
I could just get my reality TV fix. Instead, I've got to finish up season 2 of Love Island.
Voldy loving Wormtail was how Nagini became a Horcrux, or was Wormtail loving Nagini how Voldemort became alive?
How dare you say that about Nagini? That's not how Voldy came alive. We know how Voldemort came alive. We've discussed this before.
Have we?
Yes.
The, like, weird snake baby Voldy?
We've discussed how baby Voldemort came to be.
I thought we had a debate about it and discussed possible
Well, because
options,
Rowling
had
an explanation. She gave it to her editor, and her editor, like, literally almost got sick and said, you can't put that in the book.
Yeah, I thought it was Wormtail impregnated Nagini.
No, Wormtail didn't impregnate Nagini.
Okay.
Bertha Jorkins.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And they used Bertha Jorkins to grow the Voldemort baby.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see why that wasn't included. Yeah.
This is yucky.
That's pretty gross. That is.
Yeah. It's yucky.
On a funnier note, every time you listen to the scene where Wormtail plops Voldemort in the cauldron to resurrect him.
Just like drops him in there.
Does anyone else just hear an involuntary like plunk as Voldemort hits the bottom of the cauldron?
Plunk. Maybe that's how Wormtail gets his revenge a little bit. He just like plops him in there.
Oops.
Sorry, my lord. You slipped. Oh, ow. Oh my God. I have to eat. I'm surprised none of this has curbed my appetite, but it has not.
Maddie brings up that the Cursed Child didn't feel like the same style as Harry Potter.
Absolutely not. I agree.
Before we wrap everything up, who did write The Cursed Child then? Because I thought J.K. did.
No, it was two guys who actually write plays and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Jack Thorne and somebody else. But
and
apparently
J.K. didn't have like any
apparently
influence outside of
they had like discussions and whatever else, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm good with this. It's good. It's a play. It's fine." I don't really know what the extent of her involvement is. I just know that there are 7 books. None of those are Cursed Child. I've also been told multiple times, like, Cursed Child is good when you watch it, because visually, as a play, it is spectacular. But when I read it as a story, it makes me feel like reading it is causing me to create a Horcrux.
Oh, okay. Dying a little bit on the inside.
I'm dying a little bit on the inside reading that.
And Patrick, so glad you had fun last Saturday. And you should definitely join us, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, for our Dumbledore discussion.
Well, I mean, I did read it as a play. That's what I mean. I did read it as a play. I like Shakespeare. And I still thought it sucked. Just saying.
I haven't read it yet, so there's that.
Yeah.
I have no opinion on it.
Other
than that it's not canon, apparently.
It is not canon. While the storylines suck. Yeah, that's what I mean. The storylines suck. I don't mean like some of the dialogue isn't good or whatever. Certain scenes aren't good. I'm sure the special effects are absolutely incredible.
I'm sure it's written well.
But the story sucks.
That's a shame. It's a total shame.
It is. But good thing it's not canon.
I guess so.
That's what's good about it.
Well,
neither is Fantastic Beasts.
Let's just watch the movies.
I'm just saying. We do need to watch the movies. We do need to do that. We will do that soon. Once and for all, so I can finally say that Fantastic Beasts is terrible
And
after having actually watched them.
If we're going to have a discussion on Dumbledore, we have to watch Fantastic Beasts.
Why? It's not canon. There's lies in there.
Well, we can pick out those lies.
I'm just saying, there are lies in there.
We're having the Dumbledore discussion. We got to do it. And if any of you have not voted yet, we do have a poll up on whether or not you think Dumbledore is good, bad, or a great character. And you can leave your opinion on that.
Yes. Vote, vote, vote. Tell us what you think of Dumbledore.
Actually, I'll bring up the post and drop it in the chat. The cats are just crazy tonight.
Go away. Go away. Champions. Champions. Yes, Pim. Yes, Pim. Yes, Pim.
There we go. And
Oh, are we done? Oh.
no, I just I wanted to drop the link in case anyone has not voted yet and they wanted a link to it so they could put in their feelings on Dumbledore.
Pim. Pim.
But all right. On that note, is there anything else?
Oh my God, Pim! What are you doing? Okay.
Is there anything else you want to add before we sign off?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us.
Yes,
it's been
thank
a great
you all.
time.
We had a solid good time. This has been great.
We'll be back. Oh, Marcelo.
Oh,
Hello.
Marcelo. We are just leaving. I am so sorry. I just voted. Did I do it right? Just click on it.
Yep.
Where's Lord of the Rings?
Marcelo, it's coming, precious. It's coming. Just be patient.
Unless we do Snape Noir first.
It's tough. It's tough. It's hard.
Well, on that note.
We'll be back next Thursday for more of this. And then the following Saturday, April 23rd, we'll have our Dumbledore discussion. So if you have anything to vent about Dumbledore or want to...
Or praise about Dumbledore.
There's the place to do it.
Yes. We will see you all next time.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Have a good
night.
weekend, everybody.